A lot of you are struggling with PTE Core Writing. We are getting a record number of requests, people asking us how to pass this exam, especially in the writing part. They're scoring CLB9 in everything except for writing. So what is happening? Well, there are some mistakes that I've seen repeatedly when I'm giving feedback to these students. When they say we failed, I check their writing, and you can submit your writing too. And this is what I have to say. Now, these are the things you want to completely avoid in your PTE Core Writing exam. If you do this, you lose marks. First thing is the word limit. The essay tells you write at least 100 words, which means 100 or more. Now you can go slightly lower, you can go up to 90, but anything less than 90, you lose marks, and anything over 120, you lose marks. So should be between 90 to 120 to not lose marks, but really the sweet spot is 100 to 120. Make sure you do the entire word limit. Next thing is being too specific or being too general. So an example here would be if you're complaining to a landlord and you have to list your problems in a bullet point of the essay, and you list too many problems. For example, you're saying, well, there's many reasons for me evacuating and it's just not right for me. It's a lot of things. I can't even tell you. It stresses me out. What you have done here is you haven't really mentioned a specific reason, and it's too general of you. Now, if you are too specific, you might say something very, very to the point, which could be a bunch of numbers, lists. For example, you would say, well, I did a survey with 80% of the residents in the apartment, and on a scale of 1 to 10, they say they don't like the conditions up to a level of 8, and the conditions they don't like are this, and you make a list. Now you're being too specific. When you're being too specific or too general, you're not giving the AI the chance to evaluate your sentence structure, your theoretical answer, your description. So avoid being too specific or too general. What you want to do is keep a good mix. So if I write that answer, I'm going to say, well, the sanitary conditions in the apartment are abysmal. This is apparent when we observe areas such as behind appliances, floors, and ceilings. The spider webs as well as the dirt is apparent. Now, this is a good mix of you being specific with some points and also not being too general by just saying that there are problems without really mentioning any. Next thing is missing salutation, which means dear sir, madam, or at the end when you say best regards, yours sincerely. Please don't miss salutations. They are a recipe for disaster if you miss them. Remember, addresses, dates, and subjects are not needed. You can just start with dear, but don't miss it. Next thing is having 2 sentences per paragraph. Usually you would have 4 to 5 paragraphs. Now, a lot of people think if you just do 1 sentence per paragraph, you will lose marks because it's not enough. Hence, you do 2 sentences or 3 or more per paragraph. When you have 4 to 5 paragraphs, which is a good structure in PTE Core Writing, then you should just do 1 sentence for the intro, 1 sentence in the conclusion, and the body paragraphs can be 1 to 2 sentences, sometimes 3, but 1 to 2 for body are good. Now, if you keep this in your mind, you're not going to exceed the word limit because obviously 100 words are not much. Now, if you do 2 sentences per paragraph, including intro and conclusion, you are easily going to exceed 150. So 2 sentences per paragraph are not mandatory, especially intro and conclusion. Next, avoid grammar mistakes. It's pretty straightforward. The AI is the best at detecting grammar mistakes, even better than humans. So this exam does have the disadvantage of having a very strict grammatic check, which can be missed by humans, but not by the AI. Most mistakes are grammatical. So you can use something like Grammarly, or you can take lessons with us. HZad Education provides some of the best PTE Core tutors. We've had some great reviews last month with PTE Core, especially in writing where people are struggling. So you can always email us. Email is in the description. We'll provide you feedback on grammar and tell you how you can improve. Next, 3 clause sentences. Now, this is complicated for the AI. Once again, the problem is the AI marking. You want to make things simple for AI. For example, if you have a long sentence, the apartment is very unsanitary and it has bed bugs and it has spider webs, and so now you have 2 conditions, right? You mentioned it's unsanitary, you listed some things, and then you do a 3rd thing, and I think I need to call the police. So now you have a 3rd thing in the same sentence, which is 3 clauses, which is making the sentence extremely complex and extremely long. When you make sentences this long, even if they are correct and they can be detected by a human correctly, the AI will be confused. Don't confuse the AI. Keep it simple. one clause or two clause sentences are perfect. So if you have a one clause sentence with 1 point per sentence, you're basically doing a simple sentence. And if you have two clauses, it's a complex sentence. Two clauses would be, considering the given state of the apartment, comma, I don't think it is possible for me to live here anymore. Second clause. So the complex and the simple sentence, having a good mixture of these will give you the maximum marks. But if you make it too complex, it is going to be difficult for the AI to understand and they'll just mark you lower. Next is copying the question. You want to make sure you don't copy it word to word. Of course, you can include elements of the question, and that is important to show the AI that we are answering what is being asked. But if you copy literally the entire question, you will lose marks because you are not paraphrasing, you're not using your own vocabulary or thoughts. Be careful with that. Once you avoid these mistakes, you can guarantee a good writing score, a very high CLB in your PTE Core Writing exam. And if you want to really guarantee it, check out our template, our entire samples, our library, and a lot of resources in our PTE Core course down in the description. Please like, share, and subscribe as well. We'll talk soon.